One of the biggest spectacles in Arkansas history.
Lights out for thousands of us as the sun and moon intersect, casting a shadow across parts of the state.
Hundreds of thousands flooding into the state to witness this historic moment.
And we want to make sure that we were prepared for the influx of visitors.
State leaders have been planning for months, even years, to prepare for the big day. But will their plans hold?
We've been staging different medical resources, fire resources all over the county.
This is a full hands on deck, everybody work.
A once-in-a-lifetime event coming to fruition in less than 2 hours.
We're spread out across 5 countries, counting down to the big moment. Are you ready?
It's the Great Arkansas Eclipse, right here on this special edition of 5 News.
Alexandra and Tiffany, we're going to toss it back to you in the studio. It's a nice day out here, not a lot of cloud cover. We are really going to have a lot of fun with this today.
Oh, we are so envious that you guys are in the path of totality. How exciting, absolutely gorgeous day out there. And we have all of 5 country covered today with our crews out in the field. Look at this amazing map we made. You've already seen Darren and Joe above Main Street in Clarksville. Beautiful day for it. Kayla Davis is in Ozark, ready for their celebration downtown.
Morgan Burgley's in Russellville, and also shout out to Stephen Elmore in Clarksville as well. And then in Russellville, NASA will be looking at the eclipse. Jacob Luthi is on top of Mount Magazine, the highest point in the state.
Oh, that's a good vantage point for this. Well, Rachel Williams is on I-40 watching for traffic and backups. You know the roads are going to be so busy today. Lauren Spencer is in downtown Bentonville. It's out of the path of totality, but the city is still holding a big party to make sure everyone has a memorable eclipse day. So let's kick it off with our team coverage as it continues in downtown Ozark.
Yeah, Kayla, that excitement, it's building. People are out there. What's it looking like out there? Is it crowded? Are people ready to go?
That's right, you guys. We're out here in Ozark. The day has finally come. It is Eclipse Day. Ozark has about 3,600 people, and they're expecting upwards of 10,000.
We can still see it, even though there's just a little bit of cloud cover here. We can still see just the tiniest sliver of sun left, and it is really getting dark out here. It's almost like at dusk. If you're in a spot where it is totality, it is very similar to dusk. It's got that grayish feeling.
Yep.
And we're 1 minute away. So we may just turn up this one microphone here and just kind of listen to the crowd as they get ready for totality, which is going to be about less than 1 minute.
In the middle of
Looking at, we had an Ozark camera up. You can take your glasses off right now that we are in totality, and you can look up and you can see the halo around the moon. You can hear people here on the rooftop they're getting emotional from this. I mean, this is something that you won't see for in a long time, another 20 years for another total solar eclipse here. But it's as dark out here as if it were 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night in the middle of July.
Right, it looks like there's just a sunset all the way around.
All the street lights have come on in downtown Clarksville.
Covering news where you live. 5 News starts with breaking news.
Tornado warning for western Benton County. A dangerous supercell moving into parts of Delaware County has a history of producing a tornado, and that could and is likely ongoing right now. This is the one that has me nervous right now. This is the one that has prompted the tornado warning. That's the area of rotation. Boy, that's stronger with that latest scan. Here it is, folks. We are probably just minutes from that area of rotation, likely crossing into Benton County. Take me to debris tracker. Okay, folks, we have a tornado on the ground. Tornado on the ground just to the west-southwest of Decatur. Area of rotation, it's broadened. You can pretty much draw a circle between Centerton, Bentonville, Pinnacle Country Club, and that's where our rotation is. And you can see it's bringing some very strong winds, very large hail to the downtown Bentonville Square. Those trees are being pushed. It's not going to take much wind to topple over some trees, just given how wet it has been. Primary area of rotation is really just on the north side of Rogers. Very strong inflow into that. The airport actually measuring winds of about 62 miles per hour. That's qualifies for a severe thunderstorm wind, and that's going to be feeding right into that storm. This is at 8th Street South along I-49. Just 8th Street at 49. Winds continue, very strong downpours, very large hail coming out of this storm.
I've already seen multiple police departments, fire departments come through, fly through this area trying to help. And the thing is that it is pitch black out here. Whenever we drove up to Decatur, we came through Siloam Springs up 59. And ever since we turned off onto 59, it's been pitch black.
It's hard to get around, not just Rogers, but all of Benton County. It's hard to get around this morning. And again, this is some of the worst damage that we've seen. You can see this goes back. I mean, you're talking about the entire building, a loss here. The whole front wall knocked down, the roof caved in. You've got water coming out. There's a lot of water in the parking lot here. You can tell that there's other areas where some of the water lines, the water mains have busted, and water is just flowing through the parking lot.
Well, what's funny is all around here, there was nothing but trees yesterday, and now there's no trees. It's like it took off the top of the hill. It's like that. I mean, you could not see through the trees, and now there's no trees. Like, that's a lot of damage.
Western portions of Washington County, and now we're seeing that move away from Highway 16. Now it's crossing Highway 412. Ominous view there for sure. This is a little bit further off towards the north. This is the Pinnacle Hills area. This is our Mercy Tower cam. We're looking back towards the west-southwest.
5, 62, 72. Little Flock going into Garfield. This storm is moving your direction, and it's moving traditionally. Mercy Rogers. Okay, this is our live camera from Mercy Rogers. Funnel cloud very well could be a tornado if it's making contact with the ground. Put me in front of that if you don't mind. This is going to be your wall cloud right here, funnel cloud. The question is this making contact with the ground right now? We don't know. We got to watch for some power flashes. If we see power flashes, we're going to be concerned. I think that funnel is getting a little bit closer. My concern that there might be a tornado imminent is increasing. I think we very well may have a tornado on the ground. This is going to be looking from Rogers. Yep. There's going to be your tornado. Large wall cloud rotating. You can kind of see the striations in the clouds there. Kind of losing some imagery of it. The rain's starting to undercut it. We're losing our visual of it. Large tornado developing right now on the ground, northeast Rogers. We're looking live from our camera that sits atop Mercy Hospital in Rogers. We're pointing off towards the northeast. I'm going to give this a couple more scans. I'm afraid the rain's going to prevent us from really seeing it very well. Getting some more reports of damage out of the Rogers area. No surprise. Of course, we saw that live on TV, right? That tornado coming down. Little Flock got some damage there. Got some damage likely in Pea Ridge. We're probably going to continue to see damage. Of course, we had a strong tornado moving out of Adair County. Likely at one point was an EF3 with tornado debris signatures very, very common for several consecutive minutes. And so I kind of lost count, to be honest, at this point. I think we've probably had 4 or 5, maybe 3 or 4, somewhere within that range, 3 to 5 individual tornadoes. We got that threat that continues right now.
Covering news where you live. 5 News starts with breaking news.
Right now we are waiting for that press conference to start where we're going to get what police are calling a significant update in the Morgan Nick case. If you remember, that was the girl who almost 30 years ago now was taken from a ballpark in Alma.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, we got an update last night from Alma police saying that today they were going to be making that significant announcement. And that's where we can find 5 News anchors Darren Bobb and Joe Ellison. They are outside of that courtroom. We're here in just minutes. We will figure out those latest developments. Guys, this is a case that a lot of people here in our community have been following for a long time. And so just what's the atmosphere like out there, and what are y'all hoping the outcome will be today from this press conference?
Well, the anticipation, thanks you guys, the anticipation is, or the speculation is that they were going to formally announce a suspect in this case.
The bottom line in this is that the physical evidence collected from the truck that Lynx owned when Morgan was abducted strongly indicates that Morgan had been in this truck.
Her heart Morgan's heart shines on.
Morgan Nick, just 6 years old when she vanished.
I can tell you today that this investigation is not over.
Now, nearly 30 years later, advances in technology.
Among other things, they have been successful in developing DNA profiles from hair with or without roots.
Give police a sharper focus on an alleged abductor.
As of today, for the first time that I'm aware of in this case, I'm calling Billy Jack Links a suspect in Morgan's abduction.
New questions about the man investigators believe took Morgan.
The bottom line in this is that the physical evidence collected from the truck that Links owned when Morgan was abducted strongly indicates that Morgan had been in this truck.
And a call to those in the community who might have known Billy Jack Links.
This is where we need your help. We ask that every member of the public who might have information that can help answer these questions, contact us.
Tonight at 10, 5 News has team coverage about one of Arkansas's most notable cold cases, taking a look back at how this all unfolded and what's yet to come.
He stole Morgan from me. He stole her from her dad. And he stole her from Logan and Taryn. But he didn't see that he could never win.
Covering news where you live, 5 News at 10 starts right now.
The disappearance of Morgan Nick rocked this area to its core, and now we're getting more answers on what happened to Morgan the night of June 9th, 1995, as the search for her continues almost 3 decades later.
As of today, for the first time that I'm aware of in this case, I'm calling Billy Jack Links a suspect in Morgan's abduction. They determined that the hair contained in the evidence that was submitted for analysis was that of Colleen Nick, one of her siblings or one of her children. We spent the next few days doing follow-up interviews with members of the Nick family, which revealed that none of them knew Billy Jack Links and that none of them had been in a truck that was similar to this one.
Now the search continues for a man accused of killing multiple people in Oklahoma and one person in Alabama.
And here's what we know right now. Take a look at your screen. This is the man police are searching for, Stacy Lee Drake.
He is considered armed and dangerous. If you see him, do not approach him and immediately call 911. Now, last night, the Sequoyah County Sheriff's Office was called out to LaFerry's Propane on Highway 64 between Sallisaw and Gans.
Sequoyah County investigators and agents with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation say they found 2 employees, a man and a woman, dead inside of that business.
And we're told Drake stole a vehicle from the scene that was later found in the parking lot of a motel in Morrilton, Arkansas. Drake was not with that vehicle.
And we're also told that he's involved in at least 2 other murders.
Arkansas State Police say they believe Drake bought camping gear and is hiding out somewhere in Morrilton. He was last seen on foot there last night about 7:30. Right now, state police say they are saturating the area and checking surveillance cameras and properties.
We've also learned the identity of the woman who was killed at LaFerry's Propane last night.
Family members have identified her as 36-year-old Tara Barnett Underwood.
Tara's dad and sister describe her as full of life, a beloved daughter, sister, and fiance, a mom to 3 kids, and a friend to everyone she met. Well, tonight they say they're leaning on each other as they cope with this huge loss, and they want to do the same for other families who were impacted by these crimes.
I just want everyone to remember Tara like she was in school and fun and happy.
Full of life.
Full of life.
She was so full of life, and anyone that knew Tara and loved Tara knew she was bouncy and full of life. And it was like somebody pulled the air out away from me. I fell to the ground.
Tara's car was also missing from the scene and may have been stolen by the suspect. A second victim from last night's double murder has not been publicly identified yet.
There's some families that are going to be devastated. And that's a horrible thing to get that kind of information suddenly. And I feel sorry for them. So we will be praying for those people, that I can tell you.
Meanwhile, the community near Sequoia County is searching for answers after last night's violence. They're also on the lookout for information after finding out Drake's truck was abandoned in Sallisaw on Saturday. And all new at 10, we're learning more about his lengthy criminal history.
A lot of people are asking us how he could be out right now. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer joins us. She shares what we've learned about the suspect and why we think someone like him was out. Lauren.
I've been looking through documents all day trying to piece together who Stacey Lee Drake is.